LG for 2022. It is the UQ75 50-inch model, LCD LED backlight. Check the description below for timestamps and so on of events so you can skip through at your own will. At some point I'll do the dimensions and measure it because this one will have the feet on it as well. So look in the timestamps for the dimensions and measurements. Top of the box, power lead and the 2 feet. Feet, power lead, polystyrene out, polystyrene at the back and front of the TV. The TV itself, also got the instruction book and remote pack. That's the TV from the front. From the side, it is quite thick, or very thick should I say, and that is the back. Okay. Figure 8 mains lead there, right angled input, UK plug. Onto the remote control and instruction book pack. AAA batteries for the remote control. Screws, self-tappers there for those pedestal feet or legs, whatever we want to call them. Standard remote control, I'll get a close-up of that in a moment. Cable tidy to wrap around the back, an ant. Energy rating label. Energy rating labels have all been reclassified, so no TVs do well now because everything was AAA rated. So G's probably quite realistic. We've got a bit of rubbish in here about Rakuten and other stuff, warranty registering, minimal instruction book. I think they want you to go online to get your instructions. There may be some instruction or tips built into the TV. Got a quick setup guide, so we'll have a quick look at that as well. Study the quick setup guide. Take it out 2 year, lifting around the edges, lay it on a large flat surface, larger than the screen. I use the box. But anyway, moving down and then just going on to put in those feet on, 2 screws in each feet. Using that little cable guide there to tie your cables up and keep them tidy. Onto the back, list of the inputs on the top, popping your batteries into your remote and turning on. Key dimensions there and what they may refer to for the 50 up to the 65. Also the VESA mount dimensions there on the back for the different relevant models up from 50 to 65. Standard remote control included with the UQ75, no magic remotes, but anyway. Power on and off, input button, text and T-opt for teletext for whatever reason. Subtitles, settings, channel numbers and guide. More actions there with that button. Volume up and down, channels up and down, mute, search and TV button, or back to TV if you're on your apps. Quick fire, Netflix, Disney Plus, Prime Video and Rakuten. Up, down, left, right and enter. Home if I didn't already say home to the home screen. Back button and exit. Channel list, and then we've got the play stop pause functions for apps or media playback, or if you're recording live TV with an attached hard drive. Coloured buttons there as well for what they may refer to on different apps. Flip it over, push the back down, it slides away with a bit of pressure, a lot of pressure. There we go. AAA batteries into the back there. Cool. 2 supplied feet as well, marked A and B. That one being A, that one being B. Simple bits of plastic, pretty much the same as last year. Bit of a brushed textured finish on the top of them. And there we can see we've got the through holes and the parts that locate or help locate to the TV. I've now got the TV laid on a large flat surface. Going to lower the camera down so we can see the leg positions there and insert and attach those feet. If it shows up, it's marked B there, corresponding foot marked B as well. Hole in there for this peg to locate into, and the hook should twist into that part. Then we've got the bits for our self tappers to thread into, so foot into that hole and it sort of twists and locks in position. We can then just wind the screw in That screw there. Nice and solid. Same for the other side. Marked A there on the bottom of the TV, also with a corresponding foot marked A, peg and that sort of thing to catch into it there. So we just pop it in, give it a twist and it locks in place, and then wind those screws in quickly. Well, looking at the inputs on the side and the back, we've got the CI card slot, HDMI 1, HDMI 2 is enhanced audio return channel, where it's marked there USB in, and in brackets CI plus. Connections on the back of the TV coming out that way, digital optical audio out, LAN or wired internet, HDMI 3, so 3 HDMIs in total. Also got satellite input and terrestrial antenna input or cable. Onto the dimensions. Most important or most critical I think is the width of these feet. It's about 103.5 centimeters wide or 40 3/4 inches at its widest points. Depth of those feet from the back to the front, 23.5 centimeters or just over 9.25 inches. Whatever it stood on to the bottom of the TV, 5.5 centimeters or 2.25 inches. To the top of the TV, just over 71 centimeters or 28 inches. Bit of a thicker bezel on this one. This is the 50-inch model. Width in total is 113 centimeters or 44.5 inches. So height to that first VESA mount hole, it's about 212 millimeters to be precise. 200 by 200 square VESA mounts, takes M6 bolts. I don't know, maybe 20mm bolts will be sufficient, or maybe even 15mm bolts should be fine. It is a thick TV, very thick, so it's about 86 millimeters in total in the thickness. Nearly 3 times thicker than a Samsung LCD. Jesus. So sound I'd expect to be good, with the compromise of that being so fat. Okay, there is no screen protector on this model, so I plugged in mains, wired internet and the aerial. I'm going to dim the lights, turn it on. Select installation method, so if you've got your mobile device all set up with your accounts and your Wi-Fi details, go for that. I'm just going to go to TV and do it step by step. And there, language and location settings, England and UK for me, next. Checking my wired internet. Terms and conditions, so we just scroll down to the bottom. Select all for now, more, and agree. The way to watch TV, so if you've got boxes plugged in, set-top boxes and whatever, you can go for that. I'm going for just terrestrial TV, that antenna connection, so aerial only or TV only for aerial. Next. And again, pop my postcode in for regional programming. Okay, and it says there stand or wall mount to optimise the sound. I'm going to stand because it's on a stand. Program tuning via antenna, so you can go antenna, cable or satellite. Digital only search. Smart retuning, if you've already got programs tuned, that would just tune in the missing programs. Or new program, so we'll come back in 5 minutes when this is finished. Okay, now finished tuning. It's asking me where my aerial is facing for my preferred region. It is Yorkshire. Okay, and done. Sign into your LG account or create an LG account to sign in. You will need it to download some apps. Last year you needed it for YouTube, could be different this year. So I'm going to skip for now as it's in store, and thankfully we can pick a few there. So iPlayer and Prime, oh no, common ones, go back, and YouTube if it lets me. So I'll go app installation there. Okay, I'm not bothered about, it's giving us some messages there, turn on via Wi-Fi, so you could cast a video from your YouTube on your phone, it would wake the TV up and play automatically, could be good. I'm not really bothered as it's in a store. At home I might actually go for that. So I'll let those install quickly. And close.
I think that's spot on. I mean, you can see it across the board. Everyone's re-looking at their lives, reconsidering everything. Music, art, job
there as well. And I started watching it a little bit earlier,
okay.
Alex, as well.
Now on to live TV. I'm going to go to the retail mode before I do any settings because they'll revert back after putting it back to home mode. So, okay, settings, down to all settings.
I think we had on Tuesday, so it should be a bit warmer. Still lots of sunshine, light winds, no wind really across
down to
strong sunshine, very high pollen levels, and those temperatures
general,
higher at 26 or 27
devices, TV management, and store mode. Not keen on these menus over the last 2 years. Okay, so we've gone over into overly bright, vibrant sort of mode there, just in the camera. Then we have to go to the home button. And somewhere on there, I think it's media player. There we go. Okay. Pretty cool. Pretty sure that's the same as last year though, but never mind. Bro, so I'm going to back out of there now from that media player. All that's left, there's a few still images and some MP3s. Let's put it back to home mode. Oh. Down to all settings again. Slowly. Devices, TV management, and home mode. There we go. So pictures now dimmed down. And while we're looking at menus, and we're here. There are some things that need doing, so external devices or HDMI settings. I don't know why CECs offers a default, because if you're using soundbars and you want your ARC and your control from your TV remote to your soundbar, that needs to be on. Also for devices switching channels automatically like PlayStations or Sky Q boxes or your PVRs. So CEC on. Come backwards out of there. Don't think there's anything in that. Nope. Okay. Take down to energy saving. Energy saving step auto, that can be turned off altogether. It's trying to save a bit of energy by dimming bits. Auto power off, inactivity standby. So don't press a button for a few hours, it'll think you've stopped watching and turn it off. This is in store, so that's definitely going off. If you've got kids or teenagers, you might leave that on 2 hours in case they just go out and leave the TV running. We'll come back out of there, down to support, software update. Don't know why, that's also defaulted to off. Some people like to do it manually, so fair enough. I'm going to turn it on. For elderly customers, I'd usually turn that on as well and hope it just updates itself in the background or at night for them. I'm going to back all the way out. Turn the sound up and I'll shut up.
Are criticised for telling some elderly patients they can no longer have their drugs organised in plastic trays. And Serena Williams has come back to tennis after almost a year out of the game, brings victory in Eastbourne.
And coming up on the BBC News Channel, a great day for the Brits at Eastbourne as Katie Bolter and Jodie Burrage pick up the biggest wins of their careers.
Welcome to BBC News at 10. The biggest train strike in 30 years has disrupted travel for millions of people. It was planned as the first of 3 days of action, but rail bosses and the unions now say they will hold new talks tomorrow to try to find some common ground. The effects of today's action were severe, with only a fifth of services running across England, Scotland and Wales. Now here's the official map once again with these red lines.
Places which turned into train deserts as thousands of workers walked out in the biggest rail strike in 3 decades. This is one of the stations where some trains are running today, but across the country only about 20% of the usual services are operating, and they finished much earlier. The last train from Glasgow to Crewe departed just after 2:30. Major stations like Cardiff looked empty as passengers heeded the warning to avoid the railway, and many commuters switched back into working from home mode. That's not an option for Ruth, who relies on taking the train from Southampton to her job in Portsmouth, but there were no services to Portsmouth today.
Well, I won't be able to work today. I have a work phone, so I can log in that way, but I won't be able to do with my
Right. I say credit to Paramount Pictures, going to do the Maverick Top Gun movie trailer for a demo. That one. Okay, pretty cool. So back to the home and live TV again.
Key stations such as London Euston and King's Cross have been nearly deserted. Now, in a moment, we'll be talking to Howell Griffith, our correspondent in Cardiff.
Okay, now I'm going to go onto the home menu and just check out the home screen on LG for 2022. So looking across, it takes us straight to the app list when we press the home button. I've got Now TV, Netflix, iPlayer, ITV, All4, My5, Prime Video, Rakuten, Disney Plus, Sky Store, YouTube, but more apps there. Sign into your LG account to access that. Sports, alerts, home dashboard, web browser. Put a cheap Bluetooth keyboard and mouse on there if you want to do some basic browsing. Media player, you can play USB media back through there. Alexa, Google Assistant, edit app list and settings. I saw you can add Bluetooth devices, so you can probably add a Magic Remote to this as well if you wanted to. Above it you've got what's trending now. Some annoying bits there about Alexa. It makes you scroll all the way through when you're trying to get across to live TV. Below that, the home dashboard where you've got Apple AirPlay there, so you can mirror your iPhones. You can also mirror your Android phones to it. Quickly go for your sound out, so you've got optical out and speakers. You can change that to HDMI ARC if you're connecting a soundbar or AV receiver. Going down, some stuff on live TV, sports alert, web browser recommended sites. Now streaming, so you've got quick thing, iPlayer, Prime at the start, all 4, ITV, My5, Rakuten, YouTube and whatever else. Save the Planet, new releases, Save the Planet. So some environmental programs, pretty cool, new releases and so on. So all in all, I mean, 50-inch TV, I think it's coming out at a retail price of £449 in the UK, so it's pretty cheap for a 50-inch 4K TV. It's not bad, it's pretty average, like. I mean, the backlighting's actually not too bad on this. When I looked at some of last year's nano cells, it's quite aggressive where you could see the blooming all over the place. And the sound's fairly good as well. Also, that is a compromise because it is thick, so if you're having it flat to the wall, it's going to stand off a lot. The TV's 86mm thick, but for 449 quid, I don't think anyone's complaining too much. And that is it for now. Goodish.